Have
is
you
so
ever
good.
witnessed a love so
cycle.
pure it feels like time itself pauses just to honor
It's
it?
really good.
Today, we bring you the enchanting story of Huyen and Day, a couple capturing their love through a magical wedding photo shoot. From laughter-filled moments by a sparkling lake, to tender gestures and stolen glances, to the golden sunset that seals their promise of forever, their journey is a heartwarming celebration of connection, joy, and commitment. Stay with us as we dive into this unforgettable story. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tales that touch the heart and soul. Huyen and Day stepped out of the old, slightly worn car, the soft golden light of the late afternoon sun spilling across the quiet country road. The world around them seemed to pause, as if the universe itself wanted to witness this delicate, intimate moment between two hearts that had grown inseparable over the years. Huyen's dress shimmered faintly in the sunlight, the fabric flowing like liquid silver with every gentle sway, and Day instinctively reached out to brush a loose strand of hair from her face, his fingers lingering for just a moment longer than necessary. A gentle breeze carried the scent of wildflowers from the nearby fields, mingling with the faint, comforting aroma of the old road, creating a perfect blend of earthiness and romance. They walked slowly, savoring the quietude, their hands intertwined in a way that seemed natural, inevitable, as if the world had been quietly guiding them together toward this very afternoon. Day bent slightly to tie Huyen's shoelace, and she laughed softly, a musical sound that made his heart skip a beat. That laughter, full of warmth and sincerity, seemed to echo across the empty landscape, leaving invisible trails of joy in its wake. They had come here not just to take pictures, but to capture a feeling, a tangible record of the love that had grown between them through years of laughter, arguments, quiet companionship, and countless shared dreams. Every glance, every subtle touch was a small testament to that bond, and they both understood, without speaking, that these photographs would become sacred memories, little windows into the life they had built together. The camera, resting on a nearby tripod, waited patiently, ready to freeze fleeting instances of light and shadow into eternity. Huyen turned toward Day, her eyes bright with anticipation, and he mirrored her gaze, a mixture of love, pride, and gentle awe reflecting back at her. Around them, the world continued its quiet rhythm, the distant chirping of birds, the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze, the gentle ripple of water in the nearby stream. But for Huyen and Day, nothing else existed. This was their moment, suspended in time, where the laughter of the past and the promise of the future converged. As they posed for the first photograph, a subtle, unspoken magic enveloped them, the kind of magic that transforms ordinary afternoons into lifelong memories, and ordinary people into soulmates who, in that very instant, seem to carry the whole world in the simple act of holding each other's hand. The camera clicked softly, capturing the gentle intimacy that Huyen and Day shared with a natural ease that no staged pose could ever fully replicate. Day carefully placed a small wildflower he had picked earlier behind Huyen's ear, and she laughed, the sound ringing like delicate chimes in the quiet air. Their laughter mingled with the soft whispers of the wind through the tall grass, creating a melody that belonged entirely to them. Every subtle glance and fleeting touch seemed amplified in the golden haze of the late afternoon sun, each frame immortalizing not just their appearances, but the invisible threads of trust, understanding, and affection that wove their hearts together. Huyen's eyes sparkled as she leaned into Day's shoulder, and he instinctively wrapped his arm around her waist, holding her a little tighter, as if silently promising to protect these moments forever. They wandered along the edge of the tranquil lake, where the water mirrored the sky in shades of pink and orange. Day knelt on one knee, not as a proposal, but to steady the camera for a perfect shot. And Huyen gently brushed her fingers over his hair, a tender gesture that spoke volumes. The photographer guided them lightly, suggesting poses and angles, but it was clear that the real magic came from the spontaneous gestures of love that required no direction at all. Huyen twirled in her flowing dress, and the fabric caught the light like liquid silk, cascading around her in soft waves, while Day laughed, utterly captivated by her every movement. They paused on an old wooden bridge that arched over the lake, leaning close together, their foreheads touching, and in that quiet instant, the world fell away. The trees, the water, the setting sun, all of it faded to the background, leaving only the beating of their hearts and the unspoken words that hung between them like invisible lanterns. As the sun dipped lower, painting the sky in deeper shades of amber and violet, each photograph became more than just an image. It became a fragment of their story, a testament to the love that had grown and endured through time. Huyen and Day didn't need grand gestures or elaborate props. The simplest acts were the most profound. A gentle touch, a shared laugh, the way Day's hand found Huyen's without thinking, the way Huyen's eyes followed him with unwavering warmth. With every frame, they captured not only their outward appearances, but the essence of their connection, the quiet joy of companionship, the thrill of being understood without words, the comfort of knowing that someone would walk beside you through all of life's seasons. And as the last light of day shimmered on the water, they held each other a little closer, knowing that these moments, though fleeting, would live forever in the stillness of a photograph, a permanent echo of the love they had nurtured together. As the sun finally slipped behind the distant mountains, casting the landscape in a soft twilight glow, Huyen and Day stood side by side, their hands still entwined, gazing at the collection of photographs displayed on the camera screen. Each image was a snapshot of a fleeting moment, yet together they formed a tapestry of their shared journey, moments of laughter, quiet tenderness, playful mischief, and unwavering closeness. Huyen leaned her head against Day's shoulder, feeling the steady beat of his heart beneath her ear, and in that instant, the world seemed to shrink until it contained nothing but the warmth of their bond. The photographs were more than memories. They were pieces of a living story, reminders of a love that had grown stronger with every challenge, every joy, every ordinary day made extraordinary simply because they had faced it together. The gentle breeze carried the scent of the surrounding flowers, mingling with the earthy aroma of the lake, and Day brushed a strand of hair from Huyen's face, smiling softly. They're perfect, he whispered, though it wasn't the pictures that were perfect. It was this, the connection between them, the quiet magic of shared glances, the unspoken promises reflected in their eyes. Huyen smiled back, her heart swelling with a profound sense of contentment. They didn't need grand declarations or elaborate ceremonies. They had each other, and that was enough. Every laugh, every touch, every stolen glance captured on film was a testament to the depth of their commitment, a reminder that love was not just a fleeting emotion, but a choice they made every day together. As twilight deepened into night, the first stars appeared, twinkling above like distant sparks of hope and wonder. Huyen and Day sat together at the edge of the lake, watching the moon's reflection ripple across the water. The day had begun as a simple photo shoot, yet it had become something far greater, a celebration of a life built on trust, affection, and shared dreams. Each photograph they had taken would serve as a portal to this moment, a way to revisit the joy, the laughter, and the quiet intimacy whenever life's demands threatened to sweep them away. And in that peaceful, starlit evening, they made an unspoken promise to continue capturing these moments, not just in photographs, but in the very fabric of their lives, nurturing a love that was at once gentle and unbreakable, playful and enduring. Holding each other close, they knew that these images, these memories, and the love they reflected would forever remain a living, breathing part of their hearts, a luminous thread connecting past, present, and future, shining as brightly as the stars above.